Good afternoon. Welcome to Good No Matters, the Transfer Talk Show. Welcome back. Be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe to the channel. And also hit the notification bell for you to get all the notifications to say that we are on air. Now, lo and behold, there's so much things to talk about, but I only have two topics for today because of time issues. I've got so much to do, but nonetheless, let's get into it after this. Let's go. Welcome back to Guna Matters this afternoon for the second video running in the transfer talk. Now, only two topics, like I said, but hit the like, subscribe, and obviously make sure that you share and hit the notification bell for your information. Now, news has broken this morning that one of the Arsenal key players, and also very much a key player for his national team, being on national training camp, has injured himself with a collision of another player. Martinelli, 60 million star, injured by one of his teammates. And let's read what the sort of news is saying. Arsenal forward Gabriel Martinelli appeared to sustain an injury while in training for international side Brazil this week in a full-blooded clash with Porto defender Eder Militao. Now there's footage there. In fact, let me just load that quickly. That footage, there's footage to show how the collision has taken place, and it doesn't show much, but it is scary from an Arsenal fan perspective, and obviously Mikel Arteta and his staff. So this is something to obviously be considered as a possible lack of stars from a front point of view. So the footage from the Brazilian training camp was picked up by TNT Sports and went viral online. And Dorival Junior's side is preparing for the upcoming Copa America, with the nation's campaign kicking off against Costa Rica on June 25. Now, Martinelli is a key part of the Brazil team with 2 goals in the last 3 starts for his country, and the Gunners man scored and started in a friendly against Mexico earlier this month, and then made a cameo appearance from the bench in a friendly against the USA last week. Now, that is very, very scary, but let's look at the footage that we've got there.
Dá pra saber, tem que ver depois. Que assistiu? É Martinelli? Acho que é Martinelli. Não tá em pé, né? Mas foi Martinelli.
Martinelli tá caído ali, galera. Show, canalzão trazendo pra vocês o treino da seleção brasileira. Quero saber o que vocês estão achando desse treino da seleção. Vocês estão conseguindo acompanhar também o treino de chute a gol, né? Cruzamento, uma coisa que às vezes a gente não consegue acompanhar tanto. O Martinelli saiu andando ali, galera. Ele tá meio mancando, mas saiu andando. E vamos continuar o treino, porque essa não nada de mais grave com o Martinelli. Mirana, cruzamento. Brasil pra treino.
For the national team. He is a very key player for the national team and also a very, very key player for Arsenal for that. So if there is a injury crisis long term, or even just for this period of the international break or the summer break at least, you still have 2 months before the actual season starts. So if it is that he has to come back to the club and that the doctors at the club can obviously look at him, so be it, and he'll have to lose out on international duty. But I think it would be in his interest and the club's interest and also the fans to obviously be at peace to say that Martinelli would be looked after at the Colney, at the London Colney, for rehabilitation on whatever injury that might be. It seems to me as an ankle, and that is obviously a previous injury they had. So hopefully it is something very, very small to suggest that he will not be a long-term sidelined player for Arsenal. Now, again, we have to consider Martinelli might be injured going into the season, depending on the scans and then obviously what the doctor's reports are, where we're going to be short of that wide player. So again, I didn't prepare something for the wide player, but we all know is that Xavi Simmons are linked to the club, and hopefully now would be a good opportunity for Arsenal, Arteta and Edu, to go to PSG and say, look, we are interested in this the loan deal that you guys suggested, and get that out of the way, get the player in for a season-long loan. Obviously, be cheap to pay at least the loan fee rather than go buy an expensive player like Nico Williams that is demanding 300,000 per week wage, which is incredibly ridiculous, to say the least. So I mean, he's currently on, I think, 200 at his club, and to suggest that he wants 300 per week at Arsenal, that's a bit too much. And I mean, you will outlay more on him than the current players at Arsenal, which is ridiculous. And he has not even shown that he could be part of the system at Arsenal. So I think either Olise, Michael Olise, Xavi Simmons, like I said, on Olise, he obviously also are in talks with Chelsea, and United are linked with him. And also this morning came out that Crystal Palace are preparing a new deal with a new release clause for that, which will probably make him even harder to get in the next season. Remember, last season, while he was injured, also linked to Arsenal and Chelsea, he opted to stay with a new revised and a better deal with Crystal Palace, and rightly so. He was a Crystal Palace player, and he could get more out of them than he probably could at Chelsea, playing time for that is. So as a Crystal Palace player, they're preparing a new deal for him. Chelsea are linked with him. There's talks with them, and of course, Man United is linked with him. Arsenal is also maybe looking into at least watching what's happening in the background. Well, that wasn't prepared for, but just because Martinelli's injury sort of gave me some perspective of what we could do in the market as well. That's not all written in all other institutions or reported in journalism. It's purely just a thought for me to justify the injury on Martinelli. But what I have prepared for it is this guy, TEIRNEY. Now, TEIRNEY could possibly leave Arsenal. He's 27 years old. He's been on loan last season at Real Sociedad. Had a couple of spells there, but also injured twice last season. And yesterday, Scotland had a very, very good game against Switzerland. And he picked up another injury yesterday. And hopefully it is not as serious, because if we want to sell him, we probably would not be able to, because now he's been injured yesterday and it's still a fresh injury. So let's just hear what Charles Watch is saying, is that the Scotland international who spent last campaign on loan at Real Sociedad has said that there is every chance that he's played his last game for the Gunners, with Kivior, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko all seemingly ahead of him in the pecking order. And Tierney's injury record has been an issue for a few seasons now. We've all known that injury to Tierney has always been his downfall. There were so many times that Tierney could be the best, or even captain suggested that he could be the captain of Arsenal at one day. But he was mostly sidelined due to injury, and also purely because out of favor of the manager. So, and it goes further to say that with the former Celtic star being taken off in Scotland's last game against Switzerland due to a hamstring problem, on a reported 120 per week pound, it may be best for Arsenal and Tierney to amicably part ways. And journalist Charles Watts has now shared an intensive update on his future. Speaking to Court Offside, Watts claimed that Tierney's preference is a permanent Arsenal exit this summer, and the feeling is mutual at the club. Arteta has previously called Tierney incredible, but perhaps the defender's unreliability in terms of fitness is proving to be a real sticking point. I haven't heard anything to suggest Tierney will be headed to Newcastle. That was a move that looked certain last summer. I was convinced when the 2022-23 season finished, Tierney would end up at St. James Park. Now, there was a real expectation that the deal would happen, but Newcastle opted to go down a different route, and they signed Lewis Hall from Chelsea instead. And that killed the chances of Tierney going there, and I can't see anything changing this summer when it comes to that potential move. Arsenal would like to sell Tierney, that's no secret, but it's one of those transfers that will not be that easy to secure. And what it means by that is purely because now that he's got an hamstring injury yesterday, obviously sort of make it even harder to sell him or even put him out on loan again, because that might be another option, is to put him out on loan again. He's 27 years old. He's £10.5 million valued at, and he's £120,000 per week player. We already not got rid of, but El Neni and Cedric Suarez, they already are left on a free because of also lack of game time. So their salaries we obviously recruit, and this 120 per week will also probably be a blessing in disguise for Arsenal. So yeah, that is the segment for today. It is Tierney that will probably leave the club this summer. and of course Martinelli, the injury that sort of he picked up at the training camp with Brazil, where he collided with Eder Militao. And again, I say Militao has really freaked me out, because if you look at this footage again from the beginning, is that he just walked away. I'm hoping that this won't be a long-term injury. But yeah, let's wait and see. But listen, thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also put on your notification bell for all the notifications of streams, live streams, and videos. And we will see you again soon. Cheers!